Elon Musk, the owner of X, formerly Twitter, has unfollowed rapper Kanye West following a series of anti-Semitic posts that sparked backlash across social media. This move comes as pressure mounts on Musk to take action against West, with public figures such as actor David Schwimmer and advocacy groups calling for his removal from the platform. Kanye West, known for his controversial and often inflammatory statements, recently posted a series of anti-Semitic remarks, including references to Nazis and Hitler. Some of these comments were directed at Jewish people, while others even took aim at Musk himself. Among his tweets, West wrote, "I'm never apologizing for my Jewish comments. I can say whatever I want forever." He further stated, "Jewish people don't run me no more," and made derogatory remarks about individuals from the Jewish community, including some he previously considered friends. The posts led to widespread outrage, with many calling for Musk to take decisive action. West has been suspended from the platform multiple times in the past for similar remarks, including a 2022 ban after he shared an image resembling a swastika inside a Star of David. At that time, Musk defended the suspension, stating that West's post amounted to incitement to violence. However, in July 2023, West's account was reinstated, allowing him to return to X. With this latest controversy, speculation is growing over whether Musk will impose a permanent ban on West, especially as public figures and advocacy organizations intensify their criticism. David Schwimmer, best known for his role on Friends, took to X to demand action against West, stating, "Kanye West has 32.7 million followers on your platform. That's twice as many people as the number of Jews in existence. His sick hate speech results in real-life violence against Jews." Schwimmer also pointed out the dangers of allowing West to continue spreading harmful rhetoric, emphasizing that silence in such situations amounts to complicity. His remarks were echoed by the Anti-Defamation League, ADL, which condemned West's comments as dangerous and urged Musk to take responsibility for what is being allowed on X. Meanwhile, other social media users expressed mixed reactions. While many applauded Musk's decision to unfollow West, others accused him of hypocrisy. Critics argue that Musk has positioned himself as a free speech advocate, yet he is now distancing himself from West after months of allowing controversial content to circulate on X. Musk has repeatedly emphasized his commitment to free speech since acquiring Twitter and rebranding it as X. However, his handling of Kanye West's recent posts raises questions about how far that commitment extends. The billionaire entrepreneur has previously reinstated accounts that were suspended for hate speech, including West's. Yet, his decision to unfollow the rapper signals a potential shift in approach. Some see Musk's move as a necessary step in drawing a line between free expression and hate speech, while others believe he is reacting only because West's comments have begun to target him personally. Regardless of Musk's motivations, his actions are being closely scrutinized, with many waiting to see if a formal suspension of West's account follows. As controversy swirls, one thing is clear: Kanye West remains one of the most polarizing figures in entertainment and social media. His latest statements have reignited debates over the responsibilities of platforms like X in moderating harmful content, and Musk now faces growing pressure to take definitive action. As public backlash intensifies, the question remains: will Elon Musk permanently ban Kanye West from X, or will this controversy follow the same cycle as before? Temporary outrage, brief suspension, and eventual reinstatement. Kanye West's latest remarks are not an isolated incident, but part of a long history of inflammatory and controversial statements, many of which have had real-world consequences. His pattern of making provocative, often offensive comments has repeatedly put him at odds with the public, businesses, and social media platforms. In October 2022, his anti-Semitic rhetoric sparked widespread backlash, leading to the loss of multiple high-profile business deals. Adidas, one of his most significant partners, was among the first to sever ties, despite the company facing an estimated $250 million loss in projected revenue. Other major brands, including Balenciaga and Gap, swiftly followed suit, distancing themselves from the rapper amid public outcry. Even his talent agency, CAA, dropped him, an almost unprecedented move in the entertainment industry. The financial and reputational fallout from his statements made it clear that his words carried real consequences, not just for himself, but for those banned from Twitter, now X, after he shared a post praising Adolf Hitler. an action that pushed even Elon Musk, a self-proclaimed free speech absolutist, to draw the line. At the time, Musk defended the decision by stating that West's remarks amounted to incitement to violence, making the suspension a necessary step to maintain platform integrity. However, the ban did not last long. By July 2023, X quietly reinstated his account with little explanation, a move that reignited controversy and raised questions about the consistency of the platform's moderation policies. Advocacy groups, including the Anti-Defamation League, immediately sounded the alarm, warning that allowing West back onto the platform without clear accountability measures in place could embolden him and others to continue spreading harmful rhetoric. Their concerns have now been validated, as his latest outburst has once again put him at the center of a heated debate over free speech, platform responsibility, and the real-world consequences of amplifying divisive figures. This cycle, outrage, backlash, brief consequences, and eventual reinstatement, has played out multiple times throughout West's career. Whether his behavior stems from personal beliefs, a desire for attention, or strategic controversy to maintain relevance, the pattern is clear. When one platform or institution distances itself from him, another inevitably provides him with a stage. The question now is whether this pattern will continue, or if this latest controversy will finally prompt lasting repercussions. Musk's decision to unfollow Kanye West has ignited a fierce debate across social media. While some see it as a definitive break between the two billionaires, others argue that simply hitting the unfollow button is a performative move rather than a concrete action. Critics contend that it does little to address the underlying issue, West's repeated pattern of spreading hateful rhetoric. Many are now pressing Musk to clarify whether he intends to uphold X's policies on hate speech, or if his personal stance on free expression will once again override enforcement. This controversy has also reignited discussions about Musk's past approach to platform moderation. Since acquiring Twitter, now X, he has positioned himself as a champion of free speech, frequently advocating against permanent bans. Under his leadership, X reinstated several previously deplatformed figures for inciting violence or spreading harmful misinformation. Given this precedent, Musk's critics argue that taking action against Kanye West would represent an inconsistent approach, suggesting that enforcement is selective rather than principled. On the other hand, there's a growing chorus of voices insisting that platforms like X have a duty to draw a line when speech veers into hate-fueled extremism. Advocacy groups, including the Anti-Defamation League, have long warned about the dangers of allowing prominent figures to use massive social media platforms to spread inflammatory rhetoric. Their concerns stem from real-world consequences. Studies have shown a correlation between online hate speech and increased violence against targeted communities. A key question emerging from this debate is whether free speech should be absolute, or if social media companies must set limits when rhetoric incites harm. Supporters of unfiltered expression argue that controversial ideas should be challenged through debate, not censorship. Others counter that social media platforms, unlike government entities, are private companies with a responsibility to enforce their own rules, especially when violations contribute to real-world harm. At the core of this discussion is Musk himself, a self-proclaimed free speech absolutist. His response to West's latest controversy will be a test of whether he stands by his previously stated principles, or if he acknowledges that some speech, even under his broader definition of free expression, crosses a line too dangerous to ignore. Despite the mounting criticism, Kanye West remains defiant. Rather than responding to Musk's decision with an apology or clarification, he instead posted a cryptic message: "If I'm taken off, go to Yeezy.com." This suggests that he is already preparing for a potential ban, and looking to redirect controversy for publicity makes it difficult to discern whether his latest outburst is a genuine expression of belief or a calculated attempt to remain in the spotlight. Over the years, he has repeatedly drawn headlines for inflammatory remarks, often followed by brief moments of contrition, only to escalate the controversy again later. This cycle has played out across multiple industries, from music and fashion to social media, where his statements have led to professional fallout, but have also kept him in the public conversation. If West is ultimately banned from X, it is unlikely to be the end of his online presence. In recent years, several high-profile figures who have been deplatformed from mainstream social media sites have found alternative spaces to communicate with their audiences. Platforms like Truth Social, Telegram, and Rumble have become havens for controversial figures who claim to be victims of censorship. Given West's history, it's plausible that he could migrate to one of these platforms, further aligning himself with communities that share his views. Additionally, West's future in the business world could be impacted. In 2022, his anti-Semitic remarks cost him lucrative partnerships with Adidas, Balenciaga, and major talent agencies. If his behavior continues, remaining business ties could also begin to fray. While he still commands a dedicated fan base, his ability to maintain mainstream relevance and attract new opportunities may become increasingly difficult if major platforms distance themselves from him. For now, the ball is in Elon Musk's court. Will X continue to tolerate West's rhetoric under the guise of free speech? Or will this be the moment where Musk decides that some voices are simply too toxic for his platform? Whatever decision is made, the ripple effects will be felt far beyond X, setting a precedent for how social media platforms handle high-profile figures who test the boundaries of acceptable discourse. The decision now rests with Musk and his X moderation team. If West continues his pattern of inflammatory remarks, X may be forced to take action to maintain its credibility as a platform that balances free speech with responsible content moderation. For now, the situation remains fluid. Musk's next move will set an important precedent for how X handles high-profile users who engage in hate speech. If West remains on the platform, it could signal that X is unwilling to enforce its own policies consistently. If he is banned, it will mark a turning point in Musk's approach to content regulation. One thing is certain, this story is far from over. As Kanye West continues to push the boundaries of acceptable speech on social media, and as Elon Musk grapples with the consequences of his platform's policies, the world will be watching to see how this latest controversy unfolds. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth stories. From Hollywood, stay tuned for the latest updates.